Chair yields back. Recognized ranking member from New York.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Secretary, thank you again for your testimony today. And, when you were speaking, I was thinking of what I view as two of the major threats to this country right now from a Homeland standpoint. One of them being the cybersecurity threat, which is quite substantial. The only thing I can say about that is I think you're doing a pretty good job, and the administration's doing a pretty decent job with cybersecurity. I wish a budget would reflect more funding for CISA, which I think they need more than what they're getting in their funding package, but they're going in the right direction, and I'm happy for that. The other threat I think about is the border, and I think it's a very substantial threat. And I've spoken to the rank and file agents and officers on the front lines of border crisis again and again, and they have consistently and repeatedly told me they are overwhelmed and understaffed. Border Patrol agents have also told me that once Title 42 authority ends, there will be an even bigger surge of migrants attempting to cross, in fact, unprecedented surges, and they will lose operational control of some or all of the southwest border, notions that you yourself have acknowledged as well. Or according to a Department of Homeland Security document, once Title 42 restrictions are lifted, federal law enforcement are bracing for encounters of up to 18,000 migrants per day. Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to submit that document for the record.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you, sir. Secretary Mayorkas, do you believe frontline agents and officers who consistently say that they are poised to lose operational control or some or all of America's southern border once Title 42 is lifted?
Ranking Member Katko, it is our responsibility to maintain operational control of the border. That is what our personnel are dedicated to doing. That is what the personnel throughout the department and I, as a secretary, are dedicated to doing, and we will not lose operational control of the border.
So I just have 1 second, please. And I wanted to preface what I was saying earlier, and I should have done it. I apologize for that. We have a limited amount of time, and I've directed all of my committee members on my side of the aisle to ask pointed questions which generally require yes or no answers. And respectfully, if you don't answer the question directly, we will interrupt you. I just want to warn you of that. So the question is simply, so your answer is you don't believe we're going to lose operational control of the border, yes or no?
We will not lose operational control of the border, but Congressman, you have to allow me to answer fully the question.
No, I understand what you said. You'll have your opportunity, sir. But if you don't believe we're going to lose operational control of the border, what information do you have in your possession that your frontline agents don't have? Because there's not a single person on the border today that will tell you that once Title 42 is lifted, they won't lose operational control as part of the border. So what information do you have that they don't have?
The premise of your question and what you have identified as estimates of what we will encounter at the border are not estimates of what we will encounter. It is our responsibility.
That was a Homeland Security document that I had that from. So again, the question is, sir, is very simple. What information do you have in your possession that your frontline agents who risk their lives every day, and some of whom give their lives every day, don't have, that will tell you that you won't lose operational control of some of the border, at least when Title 42 is lifted?
We have a plan. We have a plan that we have developed and that we have been preparing to execute.
Your six-pillar plan?
And have been implementing since September of this past year.
Are you referring to your six-pillar plan?
Yes.
Oh, but has that been implemented, or is that a proposal?
That is underway in its execution. We began planning in September.
Let me ask you a question. That pillar, the 6 pillars. The surge started on January 20th when President Biden took office. Why didn't you implement the 6 pillars then? Why did you wait for 14 or 16 months to implement these things?
Many of these lines of effort have been underway since this administration began. And I
thought you just said that they're in the way of being implemented now.
And the challenge, Congressman, of migration is not a challenge that the United States faces alone. What we are experiencing is a migration challenge throughout the region, throughout the Western Hemisphere, and in fact, throughout the world. And that is why one of the pillars of the plan is to work with countries south of our border so that they manage their borders effectively.
Right, okay, thank you, I understand. But the bottom line is the 6 pillars came out yesterday.
Oh, that is incorrect.
It was issued April 26, 2022 memorandum. I asked that you incorporate that to the record, Mr. Chairman.
Without objection, so ordered.
The bottom line is, the 6 pillars is something you put out yesterday to cover the fact that you guys are getting, you guys have lost operational control of many parts of the border already, more is to come. And I think you gotta be straight with our folks going forward.
Gentleman's time has expired.